Welcome, everybody. Why is that not updating? Oh, maybe because that one's a little bit delayed, but it should update. Welcome. How's everyone doing? Everyone have a good weekend. Hopefully, everyone had a great Saturday, Sunday. It's almost October, or the end of October. I was trying to say almost Halloween is what I wanted to say, but saying end of Halloween and end of or start of Halloween and end of October kind of confused myself over there in the head on what I wanted to say. Overall, you get the idea. It's spooky season, ladies and gentlemen. One more day and we have Halloween coming up. Maybe tomorrow I wear some costume. I have some costumes that I could reuse and recycle. Maybe we'll do something fun for you guys tomorrow on the stream. Yeah, we are here. It's Monday. It's October 30th. The beautiful Monday over here. A little cold in Toronto, Canada. It was not really in the negatives yet, but it was in the single digits. Pretty damn cold. I almost thought about busting out the winter jacket today, but didn't do that. Just ended up wearing multiple layers of clothes, and it was good enough. But sucks to see that winter is around the corner, and hence the thumbnail today. Winter is coming. Winter is coming. Winter is actually here. November is almost here. Winter's here. Autumn's done. Fall's done, and here comes all the coal season. Thankfully, though, with the coal season, usually markets kind of go up. With Santa Claus rally coming around the corner, utility stocks go up. So hopefully, the markets that sold off into going into the end of last week kind of had a nice little rally today in the market. They were positive as long as I remember on the QQQs. A lot of tech baskets rallying, except for Tesla. We'll talk about that more in depth later on in the day. Well, as we always do over here on the TraderPrad show, we start off first with the stocks that we traded on the day, and then we'll dive into deeper all the stocks that will possibly move around tomorrow, all the news-based catalysts, and the Magnificent Seven, as we always like to take a look at those tech basket stocks to see if we can find any fun plays on them tomorrow. So as we start off over here, make sure to hit the like, hit the subscribe if you enjoy what you're seeing, or if you found any fun plays for tomorrow for yourselves off the stream. And if you want to put in the comments how your day went, how your week went, or sorry, how your weekend went, and so on, feel free to throw it in there. Would love to see how my beautiful viewers had their trading day so far. I see CDP saying Mr. Period. That's it. Mr. Who? Mr. Oh, it says Mr. at Trader, but in this chat box, I'll show you exactly what I see. That's weird. It just says Mr. and then nothing after Mr. But on my other screen, where I'm actually streaming, get ready for a little bit of craziness happening on the screen. Oh, you actually won't see craziness on the screen. But over here, as you guys can see, let me show you. See over here, it says TraderPrad or whatever. But over here, it doesn't say TraderPrad. It just says nothing. That's pretty weird. YouTube over here bugging out. Maybe I have to just refresh YouTube on this page, and then hopefully it fixes it. But hey, welcome once again. Let's get the party started. Let's stop the music, and let's start with all the stocks that we traded on the day today. I want to show you a couple of cool things that I worked on over the weekend. As you guys can see on the top right corner, left corner, wherever it's that direction, on the top left corner, you'll see cool little bubbles floating in and out with all my affiliate sponsors and all my social media. And we also have some cool stuff for you over here. Let's get it started. We're going to talk about all the stocks that we traded on the day today. Hopefully I have it programmed the right way. If not, we're just going to have to play with it a little bit. It's this right there. Every time I'm talking about a specific stock, you'll see that little bubble at the bottom right corner of your screen, floating in and out, showing you the stock that I'm trading. So hey, we're constantly working on getting the production level of this stream up for you, and the content and the trades and the level of opportunities to be found the next day too. So we're constantly upping it. Only thing we ask in return is hit that like and subscribe. Thought you as Jon Snow in the meme. No, that was Ned Stark. That was Ned Stark who always says winter is coming. That was his saying. Ned Stark's saying was winter is coming. Jon Snow, I think later on, kind of takes it as his own saying because it's his father, who technically, spoiler alert, is not his father. Ooh, it's his uncle. Spoiler alert. Okay, enough about the Game of Thrones. If you haven't seen it yet, go watch it. Great show. Coming to the market over here, our first trade on the day, SoFi. SoFi had earnings pre-market, popped up pretty decently to the north side, but part of that pop was because they had pretty decent or more than better, way better revenue boost coming in on their portfolio or on their earnings report. Sorry, but sadly they did report a wider earnings per share loss. So that is a result of what the stock did throughout the day today. Even though it had a nice little pop in the pre-market off the earnings report, it did pop up to a nice level, almost $8 over here to the north side today came into play. I look for some long. The tape was looking pretty strong off the open. It popped up past 760, 750, then 770 was holding. I got some long over there, took some scalps, got some break-even exits, and then got stopped out. Eventually, I've seen SoFi do this time in and time out, where on earnings days it just reverses completely, and I wasn't ready to really go short on the stock because all the news articles and all the talk on SoFi was so bullish that I just didn't want to gamble on this position to the short side, because I could easily get wiped out. The market was strong on the day too, right off the open, but as I have seen it multiple times on this stock on earnings days, completely sell off. It's like almost investors use the earnings day catalyst, especially if it's a good catalyst, to just offload on this position. A lot of them are probably long at like $5-4, and anyone who's long the stock at $5-4 as a retail trader, watching the stock pop into $8-7-9-10, it's easy profit taking for any retail trader going forward on SoFi. So I was ready to stay away from the stock for any reason if it did push down, and I made the right call. Overall flat on the day on this position, I think, just because it didn't really give us too much of a move. For those of you wondering what type of day I had today, it was a little bit of a donation day on myself. I didn't really have wins, sadly. And the losses I had, I managed them pretty well in my risk management. No specific stock blew out my risk parameters. I traded everything the way I would have liked to. Some of them could have been done better, but some of them just didn't work out today. My trade just didn't work out today, and that's just the way it goes. SoFi, as you saw, was a profitable stock for us. But here's Microsoft with the monster rally off the open along with the QQQ basket. But I was watching for the zone, this area in the stock market, or in the stock, sorry. Let me quickly go over here, turn off that one, turn this on. Oop, no, that one, turn this on. And we got to find where Microsoft is. Microsoft right there. Okay, current soft, Microsoft. So Microsoft, we mapped out this boxy area previously looking at the monthly chart. So if you go to the monthly chart, it was this box of range that we were interested in on earnings day to see if the stock would kind of pop into, was it this? Was it that? Wait, the stock's not even there. I guess it's this. It's this lower end of the range, sorry. No, it's not. It can't be. I guess it's this box. I was confused for a second. I thought we were over here at this box. That's why I was a little bit more insistent on shorting the stock. But if not, then where does this one come from? The range that I guess is this box over here that we're looking at. This recent high, not the one that we were looking for the earnings move, but this recent highs of these ranges is the box that we have mapped out. So 336 to 337ish or so. If you go to the 5-minute chart today, at this box over here, we're waiting to see what happens still at that 342 or 350 area. But this box over here, right off the open as the stock goes, I have the earnings anchored VWAP already mapped out, and I'm waiting to see what happens around that area. So right around that zone that we have mapped out, and the confluence of the earnings anchored VWAP is around that price too. I just take a monkey short right around 336 or so. The stock is so strong on the day, insane strength, that it just keeps on ripping. I am waiting for 340 at this point. I'm waiting for 340. 340 happens to be right around yesterday's high over here. Sorry, a little bit above yesterday's high, not above. And that was another reason why I took that short too. It was yesterday's high, right around yesterday's high, right around the level that we were interested in, and also the earnings anchored VWAP coming at those prices. So a little bit of extra confluence. So once it showed me a rejection of that 336, I got short, risked the day's high, got stopped out, and then I was waiting for the 340 to come into play. 340 never really came in. I wanted like a fail break of 340, sadly, so that never happened. And Microsoft pulled back to the downside and just rejected the earnings anchored VWAP, as you guys can see right there. Rejected earnings anchored VWAP for quite a bit later on, and they got up and then was using that as support. So good to see that the stock is now finally, instead of trading below this area, we're now trading above this area, and we'll have to wait and see how that area or that technical indicator comes into play moving forward on Microsoft. But this was my trade on the day today. Quick little short attempt on a possible rejection of that same technical indicator that we have been rejecting for a while. Since that rejection didn't play out, I stayed away from it and walked away from MSFT. Our next trade on the day, this one I actually don't have anything ready for it, so there we'll just type in XOM for you. So XOM, day 2 play technically, and the book from Brian Shannon talks about this type of setup to look out for. You know, day 1 was the earnings catalyst, which was on Friday. Day 2 was possible continuation of that play. But this 105 area right here, this green line on my chart, you probably can't see it. Let me zoom in for you. This green line on my chart right at 105, it's a pretty solid area on XOM. But the reason why I started looking for a short at 105.50, which was kind of the pre-market low slash the today's low, was part of the reason is the XLE. So XLE has a pretty solid level right at this 84 area or so. On the daily chart, it looks like a triple bottom, double bottom that we could possibly bounce off of. So I'm taking a long off of that area, but at the same time, looking at that area the whole time, I am watching XOM and CVX trickle down the whole day, and I'm watching CLE, which is red on the day. Yeah, XLE might have been positive on the day or flat on the day. Where is XLE? Flat on the day at that point. Yeah, still positive on the day when I took the screenshot. So it might have been positive on the day, but it was actually breaking below that daily level right over here that we have mapped out, kind of breaking below that daily level. So considering that, or taking that into consideration, I started closing the longs over here and then started shorting XOM, and I thought I could be a little cute with it. You know, if XLE, the bigger sector, was going to take out that lows and that levels, which honestly it really didn't. It just kind of fake broke it and got back up. I thought XOM and CVX, which are already trickling down on the day for the most part, XOM, which is showing me a little bit of rejection right around yesterday's close and rejection throughout the day of today's anchored VWAP. Maybe I could get a little cute with it, take that 109.50, is it 109? Sorry, 105.50 break short, and front run that area of 105 just in case it comes into play today. Never really came into play. We did get a little bit of a flush later on, but then pop right back up to VWAP. So stupid trading over here, just impulse trading, no real no real volatility in these positions either, and I was just kind of forcing these trades on XOM and XLE, and I got punished for it. So those were the bad trades over there. ON, couple mistakes over here that I wish I didn't do, and I wish I was a little bit more patient. Obviously hindsight's 2020, but it's not like I wasn't thinking about this at that moment when I was actually taking these trades. I was thinking about it at that moment. I was just being impatient anyways. It is on ON. ON also announced earnings today, sold off the open, and they actually beat on the earnings report, but they reported quite a bit of a downside, or guided to the downside quite a bit. So missing on the guidance over here in the forecast on ON brings it down to the downside quite a bit. I think it was already down 10-12% over here when I was looking at it. So I was looking for any possible SSR bounces on this stock. I'm just gonna have to change this one for you to ON. Looking for any possible bounces on this stock to the north side, you know, have a rally past 75, maybe back to 80, where we can flip short on this position. But it never really gave that type of move until later on, which is around 66, which was a level on this day. So over here I got chopped up a bit trying to cash the long. Over here I do cash the long and I make some money back. Later on I get chopped up a little bit more, and I actually see a solid seller over here on a hidden gateway little bit. Shows up at one point with quite a bit of a size. I think it was 400, 500 lots, and the stock is never really able to go above it. So looking at that, I just close my trade and I don't try it. I think later on it does flush a little bit more and actually goes and triggers that daily line that we have right here on the chart around 66, and tickles that area. Let's say 66.50, basically tickles 66.50, fail break 66.50, and then pops up, and that was the SSR bounce that I could have caught later on, but I wasn't watching it later on. But pretty bad trade for us over there. 2-3 stocks totally ended up hurting us on the day today, and that's why we're red. But like I said, no specific stock made us lose more than 1 unit of risk. So I think I played within my risk parameters. It just sucks that any trade that I took today just didn't work. Tesla took some longs right in front of that 200 area. 200 had a ton of size. So first on the re-entry above 200, but then got back below 200. So tried some longs around 270 or so, and then tried to add to my position right in front of 200 while taking some size out on the pops. Eventually that size on Tesla that was there didn't really matter because the stock broke down quite a bit, and big flush to the downside today. Monster selling on Tesla non-stop. I mean, even though the market was going up, Tesla was continuously machine gunning to the downside today. It was kind of insane how much weaker Tesla was compared to the overall QQQ basket. So I think tomorrow, watching this stock for a possible play will 100% be on our watch list. So make sure you're watching Tesla for any possible good moves tomorrow, and we will be covering it when we get to our Magnificent Seven. Western Digital had a positive earnings, pretty good move on pre-market itself. Pretty good move on pre-market itself for WDC today, but in off the open sells off a little bit. So I wait for the consolidation, wait for the stock to get back up and actually show me a little bit of buying above the earnings VWAP, which it does. It consolidates above the earnings VWAP for like 5, 10, 15 minutes. That's enough for me to look for a possible long. But right around over here at this 53.50s, there's a seller just not allowing the stock to go higher. So I have my stop set out. I do get triggered on the stop, and Western Digital does push a little bit lower to the downside. Still up on the day if I remember correctly, but sells off, and then basically no other long opportunity for me, and I just didn't want to go short on a stock with the positive earnings catalyst. Didn't make sense mentally, and if it didn't make sense, I'm just gonna stay away from it. So that was the end of my trading today. Overall, stuck to tight risk, stuck to my management, manage my positions. Couple trades we let the management kind of go a little wonky, but nevertheless we had fun trading all those positions, and we will be looking for more trades going into tomorrow. And talking about tomorrow, this is our watch list coming up. So let me quickly turn that off and turn this on. So first up, we'll be looking at earnings that came out pre-market today. It says yesterday. Think of everything in the term of tomorrow, right? Think of everything in the term of tomorrow, because I'll be re-looking at this watch list tomorrow morning, revamping some of the levels based on how the stocks moved in pre-market, and getting ready for the stocks in pre-market for tomorrow. So starting off today on the show, we're going to be looking at the stocks that announced earnings pre-market today. Then we're going to go look at earnings that are going to come out after hours today, which already came out. Basically Pinterest, VFC's company that owns Supreme, North Face. I think they also own Vans. Don't quote me on that. Wolfspeed Financial. I think it's Wolfspeed Financial. No, it's Wolfspeed Technology. I always get Wolfspeed Financial wrong because I think of Wolf Financial, which is this Twitter account. I always think of Wolf Financial, which is his Twitter account, but if Wolf Speed stock. What do they do again? I think they do technology, right? Ah, semiconductors. Oh. I don't know. Wolf was semiconductors. That's cool. All right. So, Wolf, another semiconductor stock. ON was a semiconductor stock that we traded today. Wolf, AMD, Nvidia, those are always in play. Talking of AMD, I'm just gonna put in there because we don't have AMD in the Magnificent Seven. I mean, why would it be? It's not part of the Magnificent Seven, but we'll just put it in there. Maybe we'll put DKNG, RBLX. Oops. Also in the watch list for us to talk about. Okay, so and then we'll go to earnings after hours. Then we'll head over to earnings that are coming out pre-market tomorrow. I already did a little bit of the research based on what stocks are going to be announcing earnings. Sorry, what stocks are going to have conference calls and what times they're going to have. So I already did a little bit of research on that for us. And then last but not least, we'll look at the last few stocks to wrap up our day, and we'll take a look at the overall market basket, also the QQQ, the SPY, the futures, any economic data that comes out. So let's start off with earnings that came out today, pre-market, SOFI. Okay, first stock on the day, SoFi. Let's head over to a longer time frame over here, and kind of might have to nuke our line. So let's do that too. Let's just nuke all the lines. Nuke. Out you go. Bye bye. Bye bye. I don't want you. I don't want you. I don't want you. I don't want you. You can go. You can go. You can go. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. And you can go. Okay, awesome. Now that all those lines are gone, now we can throw in some new lines. Before we do that though, I want to throw in a box over here for this range, and then we can throw in the lines over the box. That way the lines stay on top of the box and we can kind of keep an eye over it whenever it goes. Today's low and a previous low that was kind of important on the way down over here recently. I guess that's the Thursday low to be exact. So 680 to 668, let's say 650-ish. Interested to see what the stock can do. If it does manage to drop back into the lower end of those ranges, then we kind of have something over here that could possibly act as a resistance. This would be also a little bit of a range, honestly. So let's do that. Based on how the stock traded in the last few days over here, there's another little range over here too, and I bet you if we kind of, I mean, how small of a range that is. Do I really need to put a range, or can I just kind of throw in one line and forget it? That's, I mean, we can, no, we'll leave that box there. We'll leave the box there. I mean, look, if we kind of go into today's chart, we should see those ranges coming into play. It kind of bounced in this range, and then broke down, kind of bounced and settled in this range, and then broke down, and then basically found support in this range, and then broke back up, right? So pretty important over there for me, these three ranges, how the stock does on the way back to the north side in these ranges, or on the way back down to the south side to the ranges, and see if there's any buyers, resistances, what happens based on the earnings anchored VWAP and so on. So a lot of indicators over here to help us make a little bit of a judgment. We also have some sort of a level right around this area at $8, which the stock hasn't really gone up to. So instead of throwing in a whole area like we have been doing so far, I'm just going to throw in a flat line right around 8, but it's more of a zone, obviously, from $7.90 to $8 or so. Let's see if we can pop up into here. Obviously, the fact that a stock, when announced earnings, can't really do too much for us, it gets boring. But I will remind you that SoFi, this is an example. Earnings day over here, sold off after actually gapping up. Sold off the next day, kind of traded around a little bit. Then the stock comes in with upgrades and upgrades from banks and whatever, and starts rallying higher. Same thing kind of happened over here too. So you want to be careful. I mean, tomorrow I wouldn't be surprised if the stock kind of trades in between these two prices from 680 to 750 or so, and just trade sideways. Today's candle was ridiculously big. It's way out of its ATR. Don't be surprised if tomorrow is an inside day for the stock. Find buyers at that 680 to 668, 670 area. If buyers are there, you can look for longs once again. If 7 can hold, you can look for longs off of those areas and maybe get some sort of a nice scalp, a tight risk to reward on this position. But based on how the stock's earnings report went, we need to see the 7 hold. The stock needs to get above 7 and hold above 7. And if we can't manage to do that, then a lot of questions will be coming in for the stock for the intraday move, not for the longer term move, right? For the intraday move, a lot of questions over there coming in. So be careful when you're looking at SoFi. Earnings already came out for this one, so you don't have to worry about that, which are actually miss on EPS, like I said earlier, but huge beat on revenue. Monster beat, not expected beat on SoFi. Next stock that we have for you guys, I believe is, do I have it set up properly? Let's see if we do. And we do. Awesome. So next up is McDonald's. McDonald's also coming out with the earnings report pre-market today. I think they are benefiting from raised hiked prices over there. That Ozempic drug is a little bit of an issue for McDonald's still, in my opinion. Look what the stock has done ever since that news of that Ozempic diet pill comes in. We have a solid base that the stock has found previously, which is now turning into a pretty solid resistance. So that 260 area, not able to punch back above 260 even with this earnings report, and if we do manage to punch back above 260 and actually hold above 260 as supports, then there could be a bigger move into the north side of these ranges over here on McDonald's. But as you guys can see, that candle doesn't look too bullish to me. Looks pretty much like a doji candle. Good move today though off the earnings report. I guess we're still a little indecisive on whether we want to break above 260 and stay above 260 or not. Now the question is if this recent high on this position, 262.56, which was exactly near today's high, 262.06 with today's high, can break out with this positive earnings catalyst so far. And I like the fact that this 260 area is exactly where the earnings VWAP is, and the stock managed to find support above the earnings VWAP today and actually close around these areas. So shout out to McDonald's. I think tomorrow there could be a bullish rally, and any support around 262, 262.50 could show us a bigger move to the north side tomorrow, somewhere around 270 or so. We do have this longer time frame anchored VWAP. I'm guessing that comes from the 52-week high. What is the high on this day? 295.14. What's the high on this day? 299.35. So yeah, this is the 52-week high candle, and the 52-week high. What the hell is this anchored VWAP from? No, that's not an anchored VWAP. That's a moving average. Ha ha ha. Yeah, it's the EMA. That's the anchored VWAP. So the 52-week high anchored VWAP on the 5-minute chart comes in right around $272. So if for any reason we do pop up into this area, I'm expecting a longer time frame seller to kind of come into play and see what happens around these prices. Not saying that it's 100% guaranteed to show selling at these prices, but if for any reason we do see the stock pop up there and not really show too much buying around this area, then maybe it's time to take some profits and not really look for new longs to punch into. That's the idea over there on McDonald's. So SoFi, we actually forgot to put notes into our watch list. So let's actually zoom back real quick and put some couple. Where did all these lines come from? What the hell? Come on, TradingView, you're failing me, bro. TradingView, failing me big time. Please tell me those indicators saved at least. Okay, they did. I'll go back to the 1-year damn chart. Where did I put that? That was the $8 line over there. Okay. Okay. Save that shit. So we're looking for 672, 680. If stock opens above 7 and can hold 7, can also look for longs here. Possible R into 750. Save. Please don't ruin my freaking charts. All right, McDonald's. Save. McDonald's, like we were saying, any pops into 260, 250 and holds are great. Can look for possible buying. Can look for buying into okay, 270 is pretty much the high of this range. I mean, that matches up way too uncannily, right? So 270 is pretty much the high of these ranges over here, and the 100 period EMA on the daily chart also comes around 270. The 50 period EMA on the daily chart comes in at 265. So I mean, if we see pops above 260-250, the stock ranges between 260-250 and 265-50 tomorrow for any reason. I'm not saying it does, right? It's a grandpa stock, it's a boring stock, it's a Warren Buffett stock, probably just slowly trades tomorrow. But any buying into these ranges over here and can hold above 265, then why don't we not see 270 coming in? So I'm pretty excited for McDonald's over here. Let's make sure that the current stock is set to McDonald's. So that's the notes for us on MCD. Now moving forward, the next stock on board is ON. ON, a semiconductor stock like Wolf, I believe. Coming out with the earnings report. Let me just quickly move these two things over for myself. Coming out with the earnings report, like we just mentioned not too long ago, was a positive earnings report, but it's more what is it? The guidance. The guidance is what's hurting this position. That 6666 area, 6666. Dan Duval, I know you're here in the chat. I see your name. Read this message. Read this message if you like men. Wow, Aaron, I'm gonna come whoop your ass on Friday, dog. But ON over here, 66 holding that area, and I mean not holding, but moving straight to the downside to that area, being down 20% on the day, triggering SSR for tomorrow, also including today. So we'll be watching for possible SSR bounces if the stock can get above 66. Show us any buying above 66. Today's low was 65 exactly, so 65 low. If that can come into play, maybe we can see what happens around that area. But I would like to see the 6650 area to show some buying for us to possibly look for any longs on this trade. But the poor guidance miss on the stock possibly can take it all the way back down to $60 over here. COVID lows, that's not COVID lows. Where's COVID lows? 2020 lows, that's $11. That's quite a bit of a ways for the stock to go down, in my opinion. I'm not saying that it can't, but I don't see it happening anytime soon. But what I do see happening pretty soon enough on the stock in a swing term scale is a possible test of $60. So if the stock can show us more weakness off of the 66 area in the near future, we can look for those trades. But for tomorrow specifically on ON, interested There we go. But yeah, on a swing scale, I see the stock possibly going down to $60. So get ready to get short on any weakness under 65. So that's what we're looking forward to moving forward on ON. These are stocks that are announced pre-market today. Don't ignore the fact that it says yesterday. Once again, these are stocks that are announced pre-market today. Next up, we're going over to Pinterest. Hopefully I have it set up over here. Please tell me that's set up. No, why does it say Western Digital? There we go. Now it's set up to the right one. Pinterest. Oh, that's probably because Western Digital did announce earnings today, didn't they? So maybe we do go back to Western Digital. See, I did set it up right. I just didn't have it set up in my notes. Western Digital, usually on the second day of earnings, volume drops off drastically, and so do the ranges. Nothing really too exciting over there, but we like the fact that the stock got above one of these beautiful areas of 4150. A solid 4150 support has also got tested. I mean, after hours, we actually got below 40. That's not necessarily good. That's not good. I mean, we dropped exactly into yesterday's close, found support at yesterday's close, and popped back up. A little bit of a question mark over here. Where is my anchored VWAP from earnings? I mean, some of these indicators are just disappearing, and I just don't like it. It's kind of annoying, I'll be honest, because, I mean, like, I'm doing work over here, and you guys are messing with my stuff. Hopefully any of the other stocks that I just did, like McDonald's or ON, didn't just screw up completely. Jesus, please don't screw up. Okay. We just got to make sure that we hit save after every single thing. God damn it. Western Digital. Western Digital announced earnings, obviously, but sold off nonstop. And here's the earnings anchor VWAP around $42. I don't really see the stock pumping too much to the north side past that 42 area. I'm looking for more weakness, but any supports of 41. I mean, the fact that we are already below 41, we did close above 41.50 though. But after hours move into 40 to the downside, I think you just wait for possible supports into $40. I think Western Digital might just have to be a little bit of a back burner stock for tomorrow. Not going to even worry about putting notes. Set your system to autosave. Is it not autosave? It is. Goddamn computer. It's probably because I had TradingView also logged into my work computer, and I'm noticing a lot of bugs show up that way. It's so annoying, TradingView sometimes, but it's one of the easier softwares to use, and honestly, but yeah, I don't know why. So yeah, Western Digital probably my back burner stocks, I'll be honest, so we'll have to leave this one over there. Don't really see too clean of a level to trade off of on this one. Here's a stock that announced earnings today pre-market, or why am I saying pre-market? After hours. Let's start off first with nuking some of the levels that I might not be interested in moving forward. So a couple levels over here. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm okay with that range over there too. Couple things more I want to add. I want to add something there. I want to add a line somewhere in this choppiness. I mean, this choppiness gotta have some bottom somewhere, right? But this choppiness has a range of freaking 50 cents. I guess we'll leave it over here because obviously I know the move was positive. You know, I kind of spoiled it for myself earlier today on my way to home. So Pinterest, positive move, popping right into the higher end of those boxes. So I like seeing that. Nice little support of that low end of that line too, that we have already put into the stock, and looks like already threw in the anchored VWAP for the stock today after hours. So shout out to me on Pinterest. Pinterest though, I mean, monster rally to the upside after the earnings report, positive guidance, positive report, everything good. So looks like we're right over here. 30 break, possible move into a 52-week high of, what is that, $40? No, 86, $31, let's say. So breaking of 30, going into 31, and an even bigger rally past that, especially if the market is green on the day. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised by that. Let's see if the stock can actually open above here and then keep on rallying. But the higher and closer it opens near 30, the less probable it is that the stock keeps on rallying past 31. Most likely it rallies into 31, breaks 31, traps people at 31, and then sells off off all day, moving to the south side and possibly closing somewhere around over here. Wouldn't be surprised if that happens. So you might want to be a little bit careful going into tomorrow on Pinterest for being extremely bullish on it. The better scenario, in my opinion, is the stock trades around these areas in the pre-market, pulls back to the earnings anchored VWAP or somewhere around this $27, shows support over here, and then goes back into the higher end of these ranges for tomorrow. The next day opens higher from here and then goes for that 31 break. Those type of scenarios are cleaner and better, in my opinion. But you know, we just have to wait and see what the market gives us and what type of opportunities and what type of trades we just have to put our risk towards. So Pinterest, couple scenarios over there. Much rather like to look for a dip buy into 27 than look for the breakout of 30, because right above 30 is that clear rejection on the stock at $31. So I'd much rather wait to see what happens at 31. If it does a fail break of 31, instead of taking that 30 break for a dollar move to the north side, right? So be a little careful over there, but it will be on in my notes. I'll be watching it. And 52-week high, anchored VWAP, and earnings anchored VWAP near 27 needs to hold that to think about the longs. Yeah, see, already put it into my notes. So the 52-week high, that thin blue line that you see over there coming in. Let's go to 55-day chart. The 52-week high, anchored VWAP, the earnings anchored VWAP, all coming in right around $27. We also have a solid line at 27 coming in right around over here, which is a gap up. So all these things combined, I mean, I need to see that 27 hold for this stock. Could possibly monkey into the 30 break, but there is a possible seller at 31. Could see stock trap longs here, burn stops, and push back down intraday to still end green around 27. So if going to monkey 30, just tight stop under 30, don't let it slip too far. Okay, tight stop, and then we can look for that shorts at 31 if they do show up for ourselves. Next one we have is VFC, also coming out, earnings after hours. Looks like a little bit of a negative move for this one. Previously, the stock had a monster rally though over here. If we can kind of put in an anchored VWAP from that rally, I'm interested to see. Get out of my face. I'm interested to see how that news anchored VWAP comes into play on this position going into tomorrow. Let's actually go to the 5-minute chart here. It's right above over there, and we're gonna make this one go into a little bit of a lighter thickness so we don't get it twisted too much. And we're gonna move a couple of these indicators. Actually, just delete these two. 1-day chart, please. And you should be on this day or on this day. I think it was this day the news came out. Yeah, it was that day the news came out. So 5-day chart. You see how it's right around this $18 area. We've been rejecting that anchored VWAP for quite a bit now. There was some support above it for 1, 2, 3, 4 days, but on the 4th day we broke down, and then we've been basically rejecting that anchored VWAP ever since. And now that this earnings comes out with a little bit of even more negative report, I think we'll continue to see that selling pour into this position anywhere into $17 to $18. Possible weakness on VFC, so any pop into 17 or 18, we could look for some selling over there. But I think tomorrow we might not even have that opportunity. I think the stock just plummets right into the 52-week low of $15. That's where it first dropped down to in the after hours. Not sure if that's the all-time low on this position. Probably not. Yeah, probably not the all-time low. But looking to see what happens at the 52-week low of $15 on the move down already. Pops any any pops into 17 or 18 could look for shorts, and the 52-week low of 15. We'll see if buying can show up in front of that area for this stock. I gotta save it. Save. Please, God. Let's see the chat. What's chat saying? Read this message. I already read that. Winter for sure. Monday party indeed, sir. Name change from Cree. Is that Wolf? Wolf Speed was Cree military contracts continue. I didn't know that. Okay, good comms. Winter is coming. It's damn cold today. Yeah, you don't gotta tell me. I was freezing my butt off no-till. It was stupid cold today. Prad PFE, easiest trade ever. If it holds 30, go long. If it goes under, then it's floodgates PFE earnings in the morning. Yes, we're gonna get into that one very, very soon over here. I think the next stock actually after VFC, which I think we already have notes for. Actually, no, it's not PFE. It's going to be Wolf. So Wolf, which also announced earnings pre-market, sorry, after hours today. I'm just getting it all wrong. After hours today, let's quickly go ahead over here and quickly put in an anchored VWAP. That's 405, perfect. As long as it's not like 401 or 4 o'clock, because sometimes those closing prints come in and mess up the volume on the stocks. Earnings. So quickly put in that one over there. Wolf usually gives us some monster volume spikes on earnings days and decent volume too. I remember trading the stock at the $100 ranges. It used to be way more fun back then, but obviously COVID and all other fancy stuff such as high interest rates have beat down these positions to the ground drastically. Quickly a level over there. Looks like the earnings was a B, and we just saw that it did move up to the north side too, so that's a plus point. Looks like this $31 area is something to keep an eye out for. Where does that line come from for 31? Is that the $31 line? Yeah, the previous 52-week low where the stock kind of settled around for a little bit is now coming back into play. So if this stock can find support above 31, we can look for longs. The earnings anchored VWAP is also at $30. Simple. Not looking for longs under 30 unless we go back to yesterday's close at like 27.70. That's not yesterday's close, but yesterday's close would be today's close, somewhere around 27.72 in the lower end of these ranges, or even today's low come back into play. Technically, these areas should not come into play for a stock that had a positive earnings catalyst. We need to see that gap up. We need to see it go higher and the gap and continue or gap and fade. If for any reason it does gap and fade, and it goes all the way back into these ranges, and it negates the whole thesis of a good earnings report. For example, Western Digital, it did gap and fade, but it didn't really fade all the way down to yesterday's close on intraday. It did do that after hours, but not intraday. So that's the whole idea over there for Wolf. We can't, I'm expecting it to not do that all the way back down there, but if it is down there, maybe we can look for some trades, some longs, or some continuation shorts, as the earnings report clearly not accepted by the stock here on WOLF, ladies and gentlemen. Now, moving to the next few bunch of stocks that we have on board today. Obviously, the stocks that are coming out with earnings reports tomorrow, pre-market, and nothing is first other than, well, how did I say it like that? I'm so stupid sometimes. I'm trying to create excitement and fun for you guys to watch so we can get more viewers, because my view count's dying, guys. My view count's dying. Help your boy out. Send the stream out to other people. Share the love. Hit the like. Hit the subscribe, because if my view count starts dying, then YouTube doesn't promote my streams as much, and sadly, I'll be demotivated to do these streams, Not that the view count matters, but I'll be demotivated. So send the word around. Share the love, share the support. Okay, let's start off with Pfizer, PFE, current stock up on board. Pfizer coming up with earnings report tomorrow pre-market, but keep in mind that the stock does have an earnings call or a conference call at 10 a.m. So that's going to be a make or break situation on this position. You keep hearing, what is this? Where do you come from? Is that the news day? I guess that was some news catalyst over there. Forget. Sometimes this is why you put news AVWAP, I guess. Sometimes I forget what the catalyst comes from. Maybe we can just remove it. Yeah, I'll just remove it. We don't care. So tomorrow, pre-market coming in for this earnings report, and obviously that $30 area is very, very key. If we go back to a monthly chart, if we do give up that $30 area, the stock easily drops down to 25, 26. We got COVID lows. That's not COVID lows, Prad. COVID lows of 2020 right over here on 25, 26. So that's what would not be hard to expect for the stock to push down to on a negative earnings report. It's already been on a monster descent non-stop. I'm not gonna nuke these levels. Maybe I should, but I'm not gonna nuke those levels at the moment. The only level that honestly is important is that $30 area. Good earnings report, can you hold 30? Good earnings report, are you failing to hold 30? Bad earnings report, can you hold 30? Bad earnings report, are you failing to hold 30? That's the only level, in my opinion, matters. There is a level at this $32 area on a good earnings report. If we do pop up over here and hold above 32, maybe there's a bigger long to the north side for us to play off of another dollar or two up to $33, $34, but that requires the stock to have humongous strength. So be a little careful. I would even urge you to just be careful trading the stock off the open, right? Because of the earnings call at 10, there is a great chance that the stock, trades down first off the open, and then after the earnings call, it reclaims 30 and then goes above 30 all the way up to 32, 33. It's also possible the other way around, where the stock trades higher off the open and then off the earnings call flushes to the south side and then burns dreams and hopes and bank accounts and portfolios. So be careful on either direction, but okay, held to 25. Caterpillar, let me just save my notes, please. God, don't screw me up over there. Caterpillar breaking that trend line. We can kind of remove this. We can kind of remove that. Moving right back into this range that we have mapped out previously. Not sure when we did these lines, but hey, we did them long time ago. A little bit more expensive stock, but that's okay volume, right? For a $200 stock doing 2.6 million shares, not bad. But gotta remember that off the open, usually it's a little bit more spready, not a lot of volume. On earnings days, it does bring in a little bit more volume, sometimes 10, 20 million shares. So that could make the spread a little bit tighter. So, more reasons for us to keep the stock on watch tomorrow. So off the earnings report, it looks like there's a possible drop into 223 in my opinion. And on a negative earnings report, and on a positive earnings report, possible pops into right where this 100 period, 50 period EMAs are, into 250, 260 to the north side. Basically a $10 range to the upside or a $10 range to the downside based on how the earnings report comes out. And this one has the earnings call at 8:30, so this is a little bit more on the safer side to trade off the open. You don't have to worry about earnings call coming in from 9:30 till 4 o'clock to ruin our positions randomly, as everything will already have been hit in the news wires and all the information would have been disseminated already. So I'll be looking forward to see what happens on Caterpillar. Most of the times I'm used to seeing Caterpillar coming out with good earnings report. I don't think I've seen many negative earnings reports on Caterpillar, but there is one right there that stands out for you, for those of you wondering. So looking for a good earnings report. Not going to use that as a bias to stick to the long side. That's the wrong number. Let's go to the ninth one, Caterpillar. Not gonna use that as a pre-buys before the earnings come out. We'll wait for the earnings comes out, and then we'll see where the stock goes to. But right now on our watch list for tomorrow, another stock that is on the watch list but most likely not looking to trade is going to be JetBlue. JetBlue, $4 stock. Not looking to be too excited on this one, but earnings pre-market for those of you who do like airline positions, AAL, DAL, UAL, all of which have been announced recently and have been moving around quite a bit to the downside. But JetBlue joining that party and announcing earnings tomorrow pre-market. AMG and Amgen, also another stock that usually is not on my watch list, a pretty expensive biotech health stock. Usually this is a little bit more spready than what's the other stock than Caterpillar. So I try to stay away from this one, but just made sure to put it on your watch list over there. Bring up the position. Earnings tomorrow pre-market. Earnings call at 8 a.m. Oh, and JetBlue's earnings call is also at 10 a.m. along with PFE. So you want to be careful if you're trading JetBlue, PFE, or also the next one coming up over here, MPC, Marathon Oil, which is 11 a.m. their earnings call. So you want to be very, very careful if you're looking at any of these positions tomorrow. Turn that off, turn this one on. Ooh. And then let me see if that one moved to the right slot. Nope, that one did not go to the right slot. Now it should. Okay, awesome. So going over to the next stock over here, MPC, which is coming out earnings pre-market tomorrow. Call at 11 a.m. Kind of what CVX had on Friday. They had an earnings report pre-market. They had a call at 11 a.m. So you want to be very careful. Let's show you an example of what can happen if you are caught off guard, if you're not paying attention to those conference call time periods. I think 11 a.m. came in a conference call. This stock really did nothing on, oh, this was today, sorry. This was over here. I mean, it really did nothing at 11 a.m. for CVX on that day too. But I want to show you what happened to me on Roblox on earnings day when the conference call came in. It basically wiped me out, wiped me clean, baby. Where was the Roblox earnings day? Was it Roblox? Oh, it wasn't Roblox. Was it Rivian? No, it wasn't Rivian. Stock was it, chat? Roblox, Rivian. What stock was it? How am I drawing a blank right now? RCL? Yes, it was RCL. It was RCL. I remember. It was something with R. I remember that clearly. RCL on earnings day, which was on Thursday of last week. Let me show you exactly what can happen if you are caught off guard on these positions, right? Right over here at 10 o'clock, it had an earnings call. I was short right at these areas based on the earnings move. It had a pop in pre-market, drop off the open, actually got below yesterday's low and below yesterday's close. So multiple reasons to kind of look for those shorts. So on this pop up, I started looking for that short. And right as 10 o'clock hit, the stock just spread opened up, biggest candle, one of the biggest candles on the day. And then later on, more volume picks up and the stock absolutely turns around from a negative on the day to a positive and much, much higher on the day. The next day continues this rally. The next day continues to rally even more. So you want to be careful for those conference call moves, ladies and gentlemen. If you are caught off guard, it'll be pretty painful and pretty scary. So MPC tomorrow, 11 o'clock, another oil position. So possibly good to have XLE up on board if you're trading this petroleum and oil stock in general. So XLE, which is the oil ETF, something good to have on board. PFE is coffin. I agree. PFE has been coffin. Prad 100% dead on PFE has done both before in dead right or dead wrong. PFE is coffin. JetBlue second worst airline in America. Ooh, that's a good question actually. Let's go to this question. What is the best airline in America? Is that Spirit? Is that American Airlines? Delta. Of course, they're gonna start me off at 10. Oh yeah, Delta wins. Delta, Hawaiian, Tradewind. Never even heard of these guys. I guess they're more like private. JetBlue. JetBlue's at number 4, TH. Alaska, Southwest, United. Americans at 8. Gotta love that. Allegiant. I've heard of them, never flown them. Frontier. Wasn't Frontier trying to get bought out? I thought Frontier was trying to get bought out or something. I don't know. I forget. So MPC earnings tomorrow, pre-market and call at 11. So I'm going to be a little bit careful trading this one tomorrow, especially at 11 o'clock. Maybe I'll just be hesitant until 11 o'clock, especially on PFE2. I'll be watching it, but I'll be very careful exactly at around 10 o'clock tomorrow. Amgen and JetBlue, not trading it. I just have it on board for you guys to talk about, just in case any of you guys out there do watch those positions a little bit more, to alert it, to make sure that, hey, if you are somebody who trades these positions or somebody who has these stocks under their portfolio for the long term, swing term, whatever it is, make sure that you look out to what happens on those positions tomorrow, pre-market. AMD, just the stock to kind of keep on watch. Big tech basket, big tech stock. It's not really in the magnificent 7, but it's up there. It's up there, worth talking about, worth possibly looking for a trade over there. Another stock that is worth talking about real quick is ARM. The way ARM sold off today, tickled 50, barely even got close to 50, but monster sell-off right back to the downside on ARM. So something over there to keep an eye on. Oop. Something over there to keep an eye on that stock too. But coming back to AMD real quick, let's make sure that... No, I don't think I have it set up for AMD, so I'll just type it in. AMD, it's back under 100. There's nothing else to say besides the fact that we're back under 100. If the stock does manage to pop into 100 for any reason, we can look for shorts into there. A little bit of a choppy range, in my opinion. I mean, we did get a new low, but we're right back into these lows over here. 2 days of inside trading on AMD, just stuck in the Thursday's range on AMD. Also, keep in mind that going into this week, Wednesday, we have the FOMC coming up, which usually the day before FOMC, the market gets a little bit slow, very range bound, and big tech stocks really follow in those baskets of range bound trades. So AMD is already showing its hand to you. Whoever is repositioning on AMD or wherever the big money traders are in AMD right now, they're MIA. They're missing in action. They're not really trading this position actively, as they are all waiting for the possible indication of another rate pause coming in from the FOMC committee on Wednesday of this week, which is November 1st. So what I'm trying to say is, don't expect too much from AMD, but it's worth having on the watch if for any reason we pull into the $100 area. ARM is a little bit different, even though it isn't the same tech basket stock. It's getting back under that significant $50 price point. That $50 price point was actually where the stock was kind of supposed to be priced into. It was, I think, if I remember correctly, $44 to $48 was the price range that it was supposed to open up into, but it opened up at like what, $40, $50, $58 or something. So that $50 area, pretty important. Lots of long-term investors, lots of long-term retail traders are actually buying up this $50 area. I'm not saying that as a guess. I know that's happening because I've heard a lot of people, family, friends, talk about how they're actually buying up this area on ARM. So looking to see what happens if any pops into 50. Could look to see if the stock rejects it. DKNG had an upgrade today, but didn't do too much with an upgrade. Basically an inside candle, if you ask me. I mean, look at this range on Thursday, stuck in Thursday's range Friday, and basically stuck in Friday's and Thursday's ranges today, DraftKings. So the upgrade didn't really help it too much, but DraftKings has been finding a pretty solid support in these lower end of these ranges at the moment, but I'm not too interested to trade it. If for any reason tomorrow the upgrade from today happens to give it a day 2 trade tomorrow, then we can look at it. We can apply some of the learned mechanics and learned playbook setups from the anchored VWAP book that Brian Shannon wrote for us. We'll take a look at any of those possible anchored VWAP trades that show up for us, but I'm not too keen. I mean, today it did nothing. I'm not expecting it to do tomorrow too much, and we already have other stocks on board that we have some good levels and good trades to possibly look for. Roblox, I think that 3250 area is just consolidating at the moment. We're waiting to see if that 3250 area can come back into play. We did get a little bit tiny teensy weensy peak above 3250. That gap, not gap, but that high, forget why we anchored it from there, I'll be honest, but that high, the recent high over there, anchored VWAP, is kind of where we're actually finding some support above, surprisingly enough. And if we put in anchored VWAP from this earnings, that's over there, so that's already showing you support. So if the stock does pop back into the lower end of these ranges, or the high end of these ranges, sorry, we'll probably look for some supports over there later on. But right now, as the stock has no earnings catalyst tomorrow, no real reason to trade it, volume's dropping back under the moving average for the volume, which is currently at 9 million, and we're trading at 7 million a day. So let the stock find out let it resolute itself, right? It's forming a wedge at the moment, lower highs, higher lows, forming a wedge. Once we get that breakout pattern back through 3250, back to 33, there's a big room for a gap fill up to 37. Unless it wants to break to the downside, then there's a big room to the downside to go test the lower levels too. So for Roblox, always on the back burner, but no real requirement to push a trade in these areas for ourselves. Now, heading over to the Mag 7 or the Magnificent 7, as I said not too long ago, QQQ and the SPY, I'm not expecting them to do too much today. Look at today's range. This might sound like a broken record for all these stocks that we're going to go through the next, which is the big tech basket. So where is it? That should be Apple. So the big tech basket, which is Apple, which is around 170, a pretty important key level, 170. That 170 area played pretty important today if you were looking at it. So 170 area right over here, we kept rejecting 170 for a long time. It gave you a lot of scalps. It gave you a nice little long later on, and then came right back down and traded near 170. So 170 pretty important. I wouldn't be surprised if the Thursday's candle is once again just used as an inside candle. Technically an inside day is if the stock is trading exactly inside yesterday's range, so we can call this an inside week, right? An inside week as we are going into FOMC coming up on Wednesday. So I'm not expecting too wild of a range coming in on any of these big tech stocks other than Tesla, which took out that $200 area finally. There was a lot of size on 200 on the way down today, so I'll be interested to see what happens on the way up tomorrow on TSLA back above 200. Are there buyers? Are buyers going to step up? Does this price looking like a discount price for them? Shout out to my older brother. He recently bought himself a Tesla. I think it was a Tesla cars by model. It's not the one that goes like this, but it's an SUV. Is X the one that goes like this? Yeah. So it's not this one. It's the Y. He got the Tesla Model Y. So shout out to my brother over there. Congratulations to him. But the reason why I'm bringing it up is, a lot of people are buying Teslas now. The car prices have been cut down drastically. Yes, it's hurting their operating margins. What do you expect when the prices of your products go down? You expect to make more money? No. But I think in the future, this is a good gamble on Tesla. And right now, it's not the best gamble on the stock price, but I think it will be a good gamble in the future. And any Tesla Elon lover would kind of maybe agree with me on there. However, the stock price is the only thing that matters for day traders. We don't care about anything else, and that stock price is sadly plummeting to the downside. The earnings anchored VWAP still showing mad weakness on this position. We never really popped into it today, but the earnings anchored VWAP has been showing weakness ever since the earnings have come out on Tesla. So sadly, back under 200. We were so close to 300, ladies and gentlemen. So close to 300, yet so damn far once again. So going back to 200 on Tesla, breaking 200. I think the next area to kind of watch for possible supports is around this 190, and the reclaim of 200 could also possibly give us some good longs over there. So that's only okay, so there we go. There's our notes. Expect market to do nothing and Tesla to be in that basket of do nothing. So don't just force trades to just force a trade. But if you do want to look for any positions, I mean, even Nvidia had a nothing range today, right? Nvidia usually has big candles. Nvidia and Tesla are the two stocks that you can kind of trade every single day. But I mean, look at the choppiness on Nvidia, the choppiness on every other stock over there except for Tesla. Tesla was kind of way too motorized to the downside. Microsoft had a pretty good pop up today, but then kind of just traded sideways. Apple did the pretty good pop up and then just traded sideways. So I'm expecting a similar chop tomorrow. If for any reason there are some stocks that can move around, in my opinion, it's going to be either Tesla or Netflix. If you are trading the big tech stocks, Nvidia might just do something, but Netflix and Tesla and Meta could be the big tech stocks that you kind of maybe want to focus on. Microsoft made a move today, doesn't mean it's going to make a move tomorrow. I can see it dying down real quick tomorrow. And like we mentioned, I'll mention it one more time, QQQ, don't be surprised if it doesn't do anything past 350 or anything below 345. I mean, that's honestly the range I'm expecting on the QQQ. Let me just put QQQ and the SPY in my watch list over here. I'm surprised I don't have them. So don't be surprised at what happens over there. And SPY, I can't see SPY going back above 420. So if for any reason SPY goes to 420, I think a 420 short on SPY is warranted, especially where this anchored VWAP from, whatever that is. What is that? Is that year-to-date low? Yeah, it's a year-to-date low anchor VWAP. That's year-to-date anchor VWAP, not year-to-date low, but technically year-to-date, which happens to be the low. If it was higher, it would have been year-to-date high. But year-to-date low anchored VWAP comes in right around the $420 price. And if for any reason we pop into that price, I'm now looking for shorts on SPY. Not that it has to, but I'm looking for it. So look for that possibility on the S&P 500 tomorrow. Now, for those of you wondering, what is the catalyst schedule tomorrow looking like on the economic calendar? Do we have any important things coming out? Real quick, going to take a screenshot over here. Take a screenshot and post it on Discord, because that's what we do. We help each other out on our Discord server by keeping everybody on track. Looking at here, I'll just show you what it looks like. We help each other out by posting, the economic calendars, the earning calendars, and other fun stuff like the Fed Watch tool that I'm going to look at it right now. The Fed Watch tool will refresh that. But moving, oh, look at that. So 90, what is that at? That's at a 97.1% chance that the Feds are going to not raise interest rates this Wednesday on November 1st. 97.1% chance, and a 2.9% chance that they might actually cut. Don't see that happening. But they're actually going to cut the interest rates going into this FOMC. Tomorrow's economic calendar, which is what we wear. My mind's all over the place. Employment cost index, okay, at 8:30. don't remember seeing that catalyst ever. But employment cost index at 830, a 2-star event, not too significant, but could be something over there that moves the market, especially if it comes in way outside of the forecast. So watch out for there. We got HPI composite 1-star, but a 2-star over here. Chicago PMI 2-star. CB consumer confidence. Ooh, that's something important. 10 o'clock consumer confidence, dictating how confident a consumer is, and I guess spending the dollar or using their dollars, and helping the economy move around. So I'm guessing that's what consumer confidence will dictate to the market over there. Overall, anything with 3-star is a very important right there. You can see high volatility expected off anything that's a 3-star event. So watch out for the 10 o'clock period. Consumer confidence hitting that number at 10. Employment costs coming out at 830. HPI composite at 9. And Chicago PMI at 945. So a little bit of market mover events coming out tomorrow for us to see if it can do anything. But once again, I think FOMC is the main catalyst. I don't see FOMC doing too much, or the market doing too much before FOMC. So that is the wrap for tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you guys did find any good trades, any opportunities to make some money off of today's stream. The TraderPrad show helped you out, find some trades over there. Real quick, let's go take a look at the chat to see if the chat wants to talk about any specific stocks for us. Prad, then when the market opened, Pfizer died. I'm not sure what you mean by that, I'll be honest. Got wrecked on the semis today. Luckily, I did well on everything else. Let's go, BGZ. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I just finished the book yesterday. Good one. Let's go, Dida. That's what we like. Will be when FSD hits if. I was thinking like, what the hell is FSD? Is that a stock? What the hell is FSD? No, you're talking about full self-driving. I like it. Yeah, it will be a better investment, Tesla, when full self-driving hits and takes off on a larger scale and so on. Yeah, I don't disagree with it. And part of my tin hat or my own theory, not conspiracy, but my own theory over here of Elon cutting down the prices of Teslas makes more people get a Tesla. Obviously there's that tax exemption bracket that he was trying to help people out and so on. But if you think about it in a different way, the lower the price of a Tesla, the more people can afford it. There's a lot of people who already fangirl over the product who can afford it, and now they can. And the more Teslas on the street, the faster the machine learning is going to learn, because the more footage their servers have to train off of, and the faster the full self-driving comes out, and the better the full self-driving gets. First to market, first to everything, and then he can basically sell that algorithm to other companies and make a shit ton of money from there. Plus the Optimus bot. I mean, Tesla is a long-term stock as long as Elon is alive, in my opinion. The day Elon dies, I think Tesla dies. But I think people said the same about Apple and Steve Jobs, right? So we'll just have to wait and see what happens on that one. Just have to wait and see. Intel over anchored VWAP from earnings. Maybe bounce play on it tomorrow. The sad part about Intel is, it doesn't really move. It doesn't really move. I mean, you're better off trading like Nvidia on a day-to-day basis or Tesla on a day-to-day basis and using anchored VWAPs on those ones than Intel. Like Intel earnings was like what, 2, 3, 4 days ago. That's not saying that it won't work, but now the trade is more on a swing scale, and now we're on a day trading scale, right? We want stocks with catalyst that was this morning or now or last night at best. So Intel becomes like a day 2, day 3, day 4 trade where the volatility dies down, where the volume dies down, and the ranges are not really there. Not saying that the trade can't be there, right? You can still find those tiny risk great reward opportunities, but as a day trader, you're better off just looking for the stocks with actual catalysts in it for that day. I think Pfizer, in my opinion, tomorrow will be a great trading opportunity. As Momo has already mentioned, that $30 area is something to obviously keep a lookout for. Prad, Tesla is a long-term short is a scammer. You're a long-term short on Tesla because Tesla you don't like. Yeah, you don't like Tesla. I know that. I've seen that feelings from you quite a bit. I'm not gonna argue with you. Everyone's entitled to their opinions. I'm a big fan of Tesla. I'm a big fan of Elon Musk and everything he does. I'm a fangirl. I'm a fangirl of Elon Musk. I'll put it that way. So I have no hard feelings. He can do no wrong to me. That's that. That's that. But no, I know a lot of people who do dislike him, and I can appreciate their side of the coin too. Elon announced today he's turning X into a dating website. Shut up, TH. Shut up. I noticed your channel has 2 more subscribers from last week, an increase of 2%. Let's go. But the view count keeps dropping. I don't know why. The view count is just not there. Like right now it says concurrent viewers 7, likes 17. The view count just goes down every day. I guess, there's no value in my streams right now to some people, which is fine. But we'll keep doing it. We love doing it. What we love doing. We were streaming to 0 people for years, and then we were lucky enough to be able to stream to thousands of people for 2 years, and now we have to go back to a little bit of more, building stages of our stream. So it's building stages. Lots of work to put in, as you guys saw today. I put in a lot of work on those animations over there on the top right and the bottom left of the screen. Let me just turn this one on again. Where is it? I put in a lot of work making these animations for us, the bottom right and the bottom left ones. There we go. That looks good. And more stuff to come in. I have some other cool ideas that I'm going to keep working on. We're going to keep building this brand, and we'll see where it goes from there. But that's going to be the end of the day for me tonight, guys. A little bit of a shorter stream. Not really too important stocks coming out with their earnings report. I almost forgot to show you what is coming out tomorrow after hours with their earnings report. That's going to be my baby, AMD. AMD coming out with earnings. FSLR, another one over there, which is a pretty good stock to take a look at on earnings report. Payc, maybe something that you guys might be interested in. It's a little bit of a lower price stock, if I remember correctly. Match Group, TH talking about Elon turning X into a dating website. So Match Group over there, Match.com. I think they also own Tinder. I was right. So they do own Tinder. So obviously, for those dating app people who know the dating apps, Caesar Entertainment, I think that's a gambling stock, like a casino stock, CZR, if I remember correctly. Yeah, gambling casino stock. So like Las Vegas Sands and so on. That's another stock over there coming out after hours tomorrow. So keep an eye out for all of these, and all of these stocks we will be talking about tomorrow's stream. Same time, same place, 8 o'clock, ladies and gentlemen. Last thing. If you have not already, please hit the like, hit the subscribe. Go check out all the links in my description below, my social media and all my affiliate sponsors. It would mean the world to me that if you are thinking about using any of the products that I use, that you use my links or my code. It gives me a little bit of money when you do that. So I would appreciate you guys to click on those links over there. And this is actually the last thing. Have a great night and have a better trading day tomorrow. I will see you guys at 8 o'clock back here, same time, same place. Ciao. Good night, chat. Ciao.